I'll never forget the first seizure. It's unreal. So I was in a statistics class at OU, and he's got the overhead on, doing an equation, and there's these two girls sitting at computers, closest to his desk where he's writing everything out. And I remember this feeling. It's called an aura now. At that time, I didn't know, what happens in a seizure. So I think, like, what is going on? Like, am I going into a dream world? And I remember them laughing, and everything turned into, it's that feeling when someone pops out and scares you, and that like initial but it's slow motion. It starts at your toes and goes all the way up, and you are in this intense fear that I can't even describe how scary it is. And then it went black, and all of these memories throughout my life started racing at like 1,000 miles per hour through my head. It was my first wrestling match ever, so I was already nervous about that. I remember looking at who I'm wrestling, I'm like, okay, this kid was born to be a wrestler, so I know this is gonna be bad, Andy, like just make it through it. Within like 5 minutes, I got picked up, he slammed me down, my head hit so hard. And I remember the end result, they're saying, you got a concussion, take it easy, whatever precautions they told me, and that was that.
Someone from Children's Hospital calls and says, hey, we're doing a study on kids who've had that type of an injury, and would he like to be a part of this study? And they said, well, how long? My wife said, well, how long is it going to take? I mean, how often do we have to come down? I said, well, it's going to be like once a month. I'll come down and get an MRI. We'll do some testing. It'll be every month for several months. And then the next day after that, we get a call, and the doctor tells my wife, hey, we need Andy to come back down for some more testing. And she goes, hey, wait, now, we agreed that we'd come down once a month, but this is every day. I don't think Andy would be willing to do that. And she said, no, you don't understand. We found something, and it's serious. We think there might be a brain tumor.
Like I blinked, and then I come to, eyes swollen shut, my head's wrapped in something. They had to detach my ear. Back then, what they can do now is much different, but they had to detach your ear and then break your jaw and take that down and somehow cut the skull in a certain way. So the pain then, at a young age, it was terrible. So coming out of that surgery was very, very painful. It literally, I know it sounds crazy, but it just felt like your face and head had been steamrolled. Like it was constant, intense pressure, pain. It was as if someone was just squeezing your head, 1,000-pound weights. Just unreal pain.
During his surgeries, it was very difficult for me to watch him go through that. It was very, very difficult, but I admire about Andy how he always has a smile. Like, it doesn't matter what the heck is going on. There could be a tornado outside, and he's smiling. He's the person to dance in the rain. Like, I call it like singing in the rain. Like, everyone else is freaking out, and Andy's the one singing in the rain in a thunderstorm.
Andy is the most loving and open person. Like, you tell him anything about your life and he will accept you in a heartbeat. There's a judgment-free zone when it comes to Andy. He's so funny and probably like one of the strongest people I know. Like, when you meet him and you learn about all those things, you're kind of like, what? You went through? Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't wear the like, I have a brain tumor, I went through cancer, I'm on chemo shirt. He's like I'm wearing my gray shirt and I'm living life, He's just so open, loving, and strong. Like, I don't think I could ever have gone through what he did and have such a positive outlook on it.
When you have to go through a difficult trial, that the best thing to do is to get outside of yourself. You've been through, a decade of struggling with this brain tumor, and look where you're at. You live a normal life. You look at it, you don't see any deficits. He is completely normal, and yet if you look at that MRI, there is a big, huge chunk of his brain that's gone, that's been cut out by surgeons. And I said, that would be a tremendous help to a child at Children's who's going through what you went through, that you can stand there and say, hey, I made it. I went through the surgeries. I went through the chemo and the radiation, and you're talking to me. So that would give someone tremendous hope. That's a gift you could give to someone else. And so I'm excited that he's taking that to heart and taking his experiences and his life story, and is now going to be in a position to help those children.
Man, a lot of these nurses, they seem like, you can tell, like, this is my job. They don't smile, they don't really talk to you. They come in, take your blood pressure. They don't even tell you the results. You're like, wait, what's my blood pressure? So the first nurse that I remember that kind of changed my life and gave me some hope, she came in smiling. I know that I'm sitting here with blood all over, my moccasin, all of the bandages, and my face is swollen. But she did not look at me any different. She just wanted to get down and see how I was feeling. Ask me questions, actually take some time to engage me and talk to me. When you're in the hospital, you want to know that your nurse is going to be there no matter what. Like, you want to feel safe. So that's what I want. I want the patients to know that I care, feel safe, and remember me, and maybe even tell this same story. I forget that nurse's name, but I'll never forget that moment, where she came in and I could just tell that she cared for me. Having trust, that's going to be what I look to build.